Hello, honorable members of the Hello, honorable members of the clan. Welcome back, guys. It's been a very difficult time since the beginning of December. I think now we are beginning to kind of like recover from the shock, from the loss. And I know very well that the people that we have lost in December would like us to move on because things must continue even though we are hurting in our hearts. However, some of these people that have departed from our lives, they left a positive impact, something to look up to even though they are gone. Giants have left us, but we have comfort in our hearts that we will always continue to drive their legacy, keep their legacies alive, and so on and so forth. And I feel that comfort in my heart. That is why I felt like my recovery was quite quick. Now, I did also mention, guys, that I wasn't going to make it to the funeral of Mr. Gomez Zulu because I already had prior engagements. I felt a great loss, even though I was participating in the event that I was participating in. It's a family thing. Of course, I tried my best to get out of it, but they could not find an alternative. I was an MC at a wedding. So, as you know, when there's no MC, it can be chaotic. So I felt like, okay, fine. I am going to attend the wedding that I've known about for almost a year and a half. And I'm sure that you guys can understand that aspect because in the same wedding, I was umkongi. And I did tell you guys a story about how being a chief umkongi or a chief negotiator, I don't take nonsense. You may see all this smile on my face, but when I'm sitting down and I'm negotiating, if you want to hire me as I'm kidding. I only do it for family because I'm very protective of my female family members whom I do not want one day to have married a monster type of situation. I put it off very, very quickly. The amount of money as well that we put on the table is ridiculously. I mean, I'm talking 8,000 Rand here. We don't go for big house. No, we want when you do something to our sister, I'm able to go to the bank, withdraw your lobola money, and give it to you in your hand with the divorce paper in Tatu Siswami in one piece. So that's who I am, and that's how I deal with things. Speaking of which, guys, I feel like this story cannot go without being discussed. The story of Sibusiso Lawrence. This is the whole video about. I am so livid that in 2024 we still have men that think like Sibusiso Lawrence. I mean, you don't own a human being. No woman gives birth for you to do as you please on their child, let alone a punching bag or somebody that with your bare hands you take out in this world. You have no right to any of those things. And I never understood how one thinks. Listen, if you see that your partner, whether it's a woman or a man, if you realize that, you know what, here it's no longer as sweet as it used to be, hey, there is nothing wrong with packing up your things and then go back home. Umutulo Mendo, it's not a big deal as it used to be in the past. Of course, with Sibusiso Lawrence and his late girlfriend from his own hands, they were not married. Can you imagine if they were married? The amount of entitlement that you would have over her. Now, the excuses and the justifications in the video that he has posted, I think it made me even more. I was so mad, y'all. I was like, what kind of a lame excuse is that? As if by saying the things that he's saying, what's her name again? I'm so sorry, I forgot the victim's name. She would just wake up and everything will be fine and dandy. On top of that, all that excuse, he goes ahead and continues to humiliate her when she is now gone and shows the world. Then look at her. Begin, here she is. Does he understand the gravity of the situation that he's just committed? I mean, yeah, fine. There are some parts of South African communities, especially males, that believe in patriarchy, that believe, even though they are not married to their girlfriends, that they are still the head. I mean, listen to him. I did everything for her. I wasted a lot of monies. Wah. She cheated on me, and she bore a child by another man. I forgave her, and I raised this child as that of my own. I looked at the pictures of his profile on his Facebook. Yeah, I did see somewhere in the back of the car seat is a little girl. So I'm assuming the child is a little girl that was born out of another man, which I don't believe. I'm looking at this little girl and I'm looking at him and I'm like, are you sure? Why would you deny your own child type of situation? I just did not understand that at all. Of course, he's telling his side of the story and he robbed us of her side of the story, and we will never know her side of the story. And then I listened attentively and it is all about money. It is all about a road accident fund that she was waiting. I think the road accident fund may have paid, or it already notified her that on a certain date in December she is going to get her payout. And now he's looking at himself as a man, a teacher in Stanger, and he's like, no, she's going to have more money than I am, because RAF can pay millions of rands depending on the quantum of the situation regarding the accident that you had. So I don't know what damage that accident may have done to her to actually get a payout from RAF. So I think because he was calculating in his head and thought, when she has money and I'm not married to this girl, she is going to leave me. He started having thoughts in his head. Oh, yeah, I might as well have heads. In his head that no, this woman is going to leave me for better people. And yet I've been with her since the application of RAF. And now that it's paying off, she might leave me. This whole story about her cheating and Ebegezela, it's all a lie as far as I can tell when I am reading his lips as they move. And besides that, I'm a very intuitive person and I can tell a liar from a distance. He is lying through his teeth because he knows very well that this lady cannot wake up and say, hang on, this is the correct story here. It sounds to me there may also be an abusive relationship going on, obviously perpetuated, I believe, by the man. And this is what made him paranoid that if she gets paid out these amounts, I think it's millions from my suspicion, and if she gets paid out, she's going to leave me because she does not want to spend this money with me, an abuser of hers, etc. and so on. Now, he cooked up a story about how they used to be together. She broke up with him. Imagine breaking up with a person like that. I think she was always afraid of him. I think she was always afraid of him. Maybe eventually she did say enough is enough. I got to walk out of this relationship. But he's making a story that no, they broke up. Then they both had their own new persons. However, this girl no longer liked her new person, came back to him and said, hey, we need to get back together. I love you. And then while he was busy contemplating or thinking about it, they hung up somewhere and then she stole his phone, and then made a video and a WhatsApp text message and sent it to his current girlfriend. The current girlfriend was like, you know what? I don't want drama in my life. I oblige. fine, you guys can have each other back together. And she moved on. And then after the girlfriend, his current girlfriend, broke up with him, then the late lady is now breaking up with him, and he felt like he's now left alone like a stupid person, and that is why he did what he did. And he literally takes the camera and pans it on her lifeless body. What kind of a sicko is that? What kind of a sicko that we have in our society that thinks like that? Who to blame in a situation like this? I blame him, because everything that he has done up until this point were his choices. It was his choice to decide that I'm going to accept this child that is not mine and raise it as my own, which I think it's a lie. Because look at the child and look at him. Yeah. He is lying to us. I sense it from the depth of my soul that this man, he is trying to make out the deceased to be a horrible woman. I don't believe that for a second. Now, the consequences to this, I'm not quite sure, because I'm hearing two different reports. One report says he has unalived himself after posting that video on his Facebook page. Other reports are saying he handed himself over to the police and he is arrested. If he decided to take his own stuff, that means this guy has always been a coward. He's always been a coward. That is why he finds it easy to what do you call this word? Oh, YouTube. Come on, YouTube. Give us a break. There are words that are day-to-day words. I'm talking about abuse. Right? That's how I am reading between the lines of everything that he's saying. Do you see he is nonchalant? He's got blood stains on his face. He did not even remove those blood stains. And on top of that, you are listening to a narcissist going about justifying what he did as if it's the right thing that he has done. And then there's a second video. Guys, I took this video clip from Owami's channel, Owami Nature's Warriors channel, because I felt, okay, this is the best way of showing this video, because she blanked out very important parts that I don't think we need to see, but we can hear what he is saying. So thank you, Owami. I know I didn't ask you for permission, but you're my girl. Other than that, guys, I don't know what are your thoughts. My reaction is that we are being lied to, because the other side of the coin has not been flipped. We don't know what her side of the story is. We will never know what her side of the story is. However, I believe we're going to hear from friends. We are going to hear from family members what kind of a relationship this was. We are definitely going to hear that. And it's so sad. Guys, fellow clan members, if you are in a tumultuous relationship, you got 2 feet. Those 2 feet were created for a reason. It's to walk out, walk away and save your life, especially if you are a woman in South Africa and you know this monster that you are married to or you are in a relationship with. Because at the end of the day, a woman that goes through such a relationship, the final place for her is her grave, early grave in the hands of this man. He does not love you. He will not change. When he says, I'm sorry, he's not sorry, because he's going to repeat it over and over until he brings you flowers and throws them on top of your grave. I do not understand. I get it. Love is a difficult thing. It's a difficult thing to get, and it's also a difficult thing to get out of, especially when you are in a dire strait in this relationship. It's got no future. The only future you are facing in such a relationship is the grave. Unfortunately, it is the grave. I told you a story of my cousin's sister, what happened earlier. It's just that she blacked out and I don't know, I wasn't there, but her defense was believed by the court because she's been through, and secretively so. We did not know that she was going through this until that announcement when it was made. And I was like, what? I thought I had my eyes on the ball here. Clearly, I dropped the ball one way or the other. I did not thoroughly check. She was a good actress. So the point that I'm trying to make here, get out. Stop making excuses and stop being afraid. I get it. You may be dependent on him. No man or woman was born off a tree. You have a family. And these days, we live in a digital era. You have no excuse as to why you're not making money online. You can start now while you are in this marriage or relationship and start building your own walk away funds so that you do not fear of not having money at the end of the day. Open an account either with a family member, but keep the card with you. You know all that money you are making online is going there without him knowing about it. And then walk away. Save your life. I do not know how to express this any more than this. Save your life. Especially when you have a monster of a man in your life. There's no any other description we have for them. There is no any other. Just save your life. Walk out. That's it. Make that decision to walk out. Your friends and family and everybody that cares about you, they will accept you, and then you do your best to be independent and move forward with your life. I'm just shocked. I am just shocked. I thought this whole femicide thing was it's a thing of the past. But unfortunately, there are some guys who think that they own women, that a mother gave birth for you. No. No. That life is God's life, and it's for God to decide when it ends. It's not you who need to play God. That's not your role. But anyways, guys, that is, or those are my thoughts about what just shocked the living daylight out of me. Shocked. Let not be you next year or any other time. Walk away. Anyways, honorable members of the clan, I'm sure I'm gonna close the year very soon, probably by the end of this week, because I am exhausted. I am exhausted. However, we are going to talk about anything that might pop like this, and let's have a discussion about it. I love you guys very, very much. Please continue enjoying your evening, and don't leave the video without liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And I also appreciate the super thanks, guys, those gifts. And you're like, Clantis, go and get yourself a Christmas present. And I'm like, what? Thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all so much. May you be blessed. Walk out if you are in this tumultuous relationship. Walk out. All right, guys. See you later. Goodbye.